Hey everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to 2IM's IPMAT channel. I have with me Khushbu Das and Abhinav Rawat, who are our IPMAT students, and they've given IPMAT Indore today, just like you guys would have. Yeah, sorry about that.
Good afternoon, sir.
To begin with, first things first, I hope your test went well. Yeah, no second doubts about it. But I've also heard a lot of surprises that you've been attacked with a lot of surprises, including including the fact that okay, my voice is echoing, is it?
Yeah, is this okay now? Okay. Right. Yeah. So taken aback, a lot of shocks more than surprises, but at least we are happy that we did not receive anything out of the box in terms of the questions or the syllabus. Yeah. Are we glad, guys?
Yes, sir. Paper was moderate. I think verbal was very easy. I think my paper went pretty well.
Nice.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, yes, the English section can be considered a bit easier as compared to the past year papers. Talking about the maths section, there were quite changes, which were not so helpful as compared to the previous year. There were 40 questions in quant section, talking about the MCQ section, but today 10 questions were lesser. So the cutoffs may vary according to me. In short answers, there were 15 questions, and the theta questions were increased in the verbal ability section. There were five questions of sentence rearrangement in the verbal ability section.
Right. Yeah. So in terms of the structure, guys, for people who were too immersed in the test, who couldn't figure out the number of questions or so. So I'll just repeat what Abhinav said. Under the quant MCQ section, we had 40 questions. Am I right, Abhinav? 40 questions.
30 questions in quant.
30, is it 30? Okay, 30 questions and 40 minutes. And QA short answer, we've had only 15 questions against the usual 20 that we were expecting. And amazing 40 minutes were given for these 15 questions. And when it comes to VARC, we also saw 5 extra questions being asked, 45 questions for the same 40 minutes. So in terms of the average time given per question, it does seem a little awkward, given 45 minutes for 45 questions to be answered in 40 minutes. That seems a little, out of the blue, but I hope the overall test was manageable. Yes, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And these 45 questions, 40 were MCQ. And the 5 questions that we had were theta questions. And I hope they were based on parajumbles, were they?
Yes, sir.
Right. Parajumble questions. Okay. And in terms of reading comprehension, we'll cover up VARC first. In terms of reading comprehension, what did you guys feel? Like how many questions did we, or how many passages did we have? Any clue, guys?
Yes, so there were 2 passages. The total of 12 questions were based on paragraphs.
Total of 12 questions, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 12 questions and 2 passages. All right. What were the length of the passages, Abhinav?
Both of the passages were long, and
okay.
According to me, it was difficult to I guess it was difficult to attempt all the questions in verbal ability section. People have done that, but majority of students, they have attempted 38 to 40 questions or lesser than that.
Okay. And how about you, Khushbu? How did you feel the VARC section was?
I felt the VARC was pretty easy. I attempted around 35 questions in VARC.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Superb. And in terms of the topics, do you remember what these passages were on? I heard that one was based on some vaccination.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, some sort of a not a biography per se, but then a snippet from it. Was that the case?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the other one, I hope that was based on some fruits, vegetables.
Yes, sir.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, superb. So yeah, this is what we saw. Now, obviously, in terms of the difficulty level, we will get mixed reviews. The student I spoke to said that it was pretty easy. One of the RC passages was very easy, and the other one was kind of lengthy just by the look of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Superb. And how about other questions, like were there any vocab based questions?
So there were some questions like, as you all have done in the mocks, there were some questions regarding sentence completion or para completion, as we can say. So I guess the questions were long, like there were not just 2-3 lines, there were whole paragraphs and we had to complete them. So
Okay.
I guess they were also long questions. And so, yes, they were easy. If you read the paragraph once, you could find the answer. They were easy. But they were long enough, like 4 to 5 questions, they were long enough. And also fill in the blanks type of questions in which you have to fill the 2-3 words. These type of questions were also there and they were doable.
Okay. All right. So there were no direct vocab based questions, synonyms, antonyms, or
No, sir.
none.
No, sir.
Okay. No vocab based questions.
There were questions regarding in which of the sentence the word is used incorrect, like that.
Okay, so no, error spotting, is it?
Sure.
Okay, we had error spotting questions as well. Cool. This was kind of expected, but all right, cool. Now, in terms of the quant section, first things first, the biggest question that that anybody was asking about this was, since in Rohtak, they said that there would be a calculator, but then there wasn't one. So how about in this case, was there a calculator?
Yes, sir. They provided us with the calculator. It was right below where the time is shown for the section. A small icon was there.
Superb. And the calculator was only mouse operational, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Okay, superb. So at least in this case, they kept their word, which is very nice. Calculator was there and mouse operational. And how about the overall interface in terms of, the timer, the placement, all that was okay, right? There was no issues with the interface of the test.
No, sir.
Great. Very nice. The other thing, the other rumor that was spread, like I think about a month before the test, was there would be questions asked from differentiation, integration, and vector algebra. Anything from there, guys?
No, sir.
Not. No, right? Yeah.
Most of the questions this time were from like topics related to functions, and there were a lot of questions. Topics related to functions, domain range, like these type of questions were a lot.
Okay, so a lot of questions. All right, super. Very
5
good.
to 6 questions were there just from this topic. Both sections included, MCQ and short answers.
Okay, nice. Okay, 5 to 6 questions from functions.
And
was it more algebra based or was it more arithmetic based?
So like we had equal, everything was there, I think.
Okay. So I've heard that about 10 to 12 questions, like including both QA and MCQ and essay, about 10 to 12 questions were arithmetic. Was that true?
Yes, sir. And
yes, sir.
They were doable. Like I have 3 to 4 questions. Like,
Uh-huh.
if I can say.
Yeah. Like, if it's based on your memory, then definitely yes. Why not?
Yes. So there was one question in short answers, quant section, in the short answer section. A person was running at a speed of 12 kilometers per hour, and when it increased his speed to 20 kilometers per hour, it took him 1 hour less. So that was the question, I guess. The same template was also used in the previous year's exam as well, I guess. If we see the last year's test or 2021, then there was a similar question.
Okay.
The values changed. So one question was this, and another question from APGP is the 3rd, 14th, and 69th term of an AP are in GP.
Okay.
The next term in GP would be nth term of the AP.
Okay.
What is the nth term? So it was also a part of short answers. So according to me, in 15 questions, if a person has revised arithmetic well, he can attempt 4 questions with 100% accuracy, 4 to 5 questions.
Okay.
So, and it also seems like this should be the range of the cutoffs as well, 24 marks.
Overall, is it in quant?
Yes, because talking about the last year's pattern, people say that short answers included easy questions, but majority of them, majority of the students are not able to solve these because there are no options. So I guess the 4 to 5 questions with 100% accuracy, I guess, would work. Should work.
Okay.
5 questions minimum.
Okay, 5 questions were doable.
Yes, sir.
Okay, superb. And also these 5 questions on the VARC, there were no negative marking for that, right? No negative scores?
So many students are confused about that. Like when you started the section, so there was no particular guideline about these 5 questions. It was written +4 -1 at the top right corner. But at the starting, the guideline said there are 20 overall data type questions, 15 in the first section, 5 in the last section, but there was nothing related to the marking scheme.
Okay. So I think then in that case, if they've specified that these 20 questions are theta, then there should not be any negative marking. Yes. Super. Very good. So I think Mohit, your question is answered. Theta questions, no negative marking. Very good. Superb. Getting back to our quant and quant MCQ and essay, in terms of the short answer questions, were they all integer based answer, or were there any fraction based or decimal based questions?
No, sir, they were only integer based answers.
Superb. All right, very good. Nice, guys. Also, how many? So I've also heard from one of the students that there were more questions from averages, which were kind of not doable or too
Yes,
tricky.
the last question, the short answer section, I was not able to do that.
Okay, it was too tricky, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I've also heard about one logarithm based questions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Finding the coefficient one.
Yes, sir.
That was
coefficient one. The sum of coefficients in the expansion of 5x - 9 whole to the power 4. So that was.
Yeah,
so this is based on binomial theorem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Answers.
Very nice. Superb. Great, guys. So in terms of the what do you guys think, like in terms of the overall test, like not QA separately or VARC separately, overall, what do you think was the difficulty level?
I would say, sir, it was moderate.
Okay. Is it in comparison to 2021's paper?
Yes, sir. Like both were moderate. 2021 was also moderate.
Okay. How about you, Abhinav?
So yes, it was moderate, it was doable, but depends upon the candidate, how well he has prepared.
Of course. Superb. Very nice. Okay, yeah, a couple of more questions. What do you think was the easiest question, like of all? There would obviously be, one question that you would look at it and like within 15-20 seconds or at least less than 30 seconds you would be able to answer. in QA?
So there was a speed distance time, which Abhinav already mentioned before.
Yes.
Okay.
That was very easy.
Yeah, more specifically because it was asked in the previous year paper also.
Yes, sir.
So similar template, very nice.
And
Also
so also you
another-
don't have to put any formula for solving this. Just trial and error in the first 1 or 2 attempts, you would be able to solve that question.
Superb, very good. Another thing I think that was more of a shock than surprise was there was no DI set.
Yes, sir. There was no DI set, but we had one LR set.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And many students wasted a lot of time in the LR set.
Okay, how many
They have
questions?
5 questions at the end.
5 questions, and it was so in terms of LR, like what was it based on? Arrangements, or was it based on directions? How was it?
No, it was not based on directions. It was like there are 5 people who go on a particular job on different days.
Okay.
On weekdays, two people go, and on Sunday 3 people are required. Like it was like that.
Okay.
And very less information was given. It was a tricky logical reasoning set. So many people were not. Quite a few students were not able to attempt that.
Okay.
I was able to attempt.
So once the set was solved, once the clues conditions were sorted, the
Yes,
questions were very easy, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very nice. Superb. Great, guys. Any other questions, guys? Viewers who are watching this live on YouTube, if you have any specific questions to ask me or to ask Abhinav or Khushbu, you can ask. Expected cutoffs. Okay, all right. So let's move on to expected cutoffs part. So again, please remember, guys, a big disclaimer. This is not a prediction. This is not something that came out from the official information, or this is also not based on the actual difficulty level, because student to student, test taker to test taker, the difficulty level varies. Yeah, so this is based on the trend that we've seen over the years. So based on the last year's cutoff. Okay, this is for IPMAT 22 Indore, based on the last year's cutoff. Yes, please remember the structure was different. Obviously, the difficulty level was different. Also, the competency level of the test takers was different. Yes, so keeping in all of those factors into play, and also because there were a lot of surprises this time, we could also expect a little leniency on it, or we could expect them to be a little strict, because when it comes to QA short answer, we had way more time than we needed. Yeah, more than 2 minutes were given per question, which was too high, but then again it was compensated in the VARC. So this is based on a small calculation that we made compared to the previous year in terms of number of questions and the amount of time. So this has to be our idea behind an approximated or an estimated cutoff depending upon the category, and this. So this applies for both cases, because a couple of students I spoke to said there were 40 questions precisely. Abhinav here says that there were 30. So this is keeping in mind both, whether they were 30 or 40. Yeah, so whether they were 30 or 40, this is keeping in mind both. And this is for 15 questions from our essay. Sorry, this is the other way around. This has to be 15 questions, short answers. And this is our 30 to 40 questions, 30 or 40 questions in our MCQ. Yeah. And this is for our VARC. So we've taken up a range. Again, this was based on last year's cutoff. We made an extrapolation of it. We've just projected those scores. This is not a prediction of any kind. Yeah. These are again based on the raw scores. Cool. Anything else you'd like to add, Khushbu or Abhinav? Are you guys preparing for writing GIPMAT as well tomorrow?
Yes, sir. I'm writing GIPMAT tomorrow.
Superb. Okay.
I'm not appearing for it. So.
You are not? All right, Abhinav. Very good, guys. Superb. Any other questions, guys? So in terms of the cutoffs, let me quickly go through them. So what we've done is we've taken up a range based on the number of questions and the amount of time. So for general category, we've assumed that for quant essay, there'd be about 20 to 25. And for EWS, it'll be about 10 to 15. For NCOBC, about 10 to 15. SC, ST, and PWD, around 5. Yeah, this is for quant essay. And for quant MCQ, again, 25 to 35. This is because of this, the range is large here because of this, small confusion about the number of questions. So keeping both in mind, this is the range, okay? And for EWS, about 15 to 20. For NCOBC, about 10 to 15. For SC, around 5. ST, around 1. And PWD, around 3. Okay, this is again based on, last year's cutoff that we saw. For VARC, it might look a little too, beyond expected. But since a lot of you have said that the VRC section was very much doable, if not easy, if it was at least very much doable. So this is the understanding in terms of the cutoff. So 95 to 105 for general, 75 to 85 for EWS. For NCOBC, it will be 60 to 70. For SC, 45 to 55, ST 35 to 45, and for PWD, 35 to 45. Yeah. Please remember, do not hold this against us when the actual cutoffs come out. Okay. This is again purely computational. We haven't gone through proper research for it, and moreover, because we've released this in like less than 3 hours, less than 4 hours of the actual test getting over, so the information is also kind of hazy. Yeah, great, super. A few other questions that I wanted to ask you. So in terms of algebra, you said that we saw more questions from functions. Yeah, how about other topics? Like, were there questions asked more in terms of polynomials, like higher degree equations, cubic, biquadratic, any?
So I remember there were a few questions, about 2 to 3 questions were that and related to that. But there was one question related to the maximum value of the function.
Okay.
Maximum or minimum, I don't remember, but there was one question in the short answer section.
Superb. So were you able to answer that using completion of squares?
Yes.
Was it that simple?
Yes.
Yeah, superb. Very good. Nice. And obviously we've heard about this infamous logarithm based question. And you're saying one was from binomial expansion as well, right? How about how about questions from modern math? Modern math like PNC, probability.
PNC was there, sir. We had a triangle question, like 5 dots.
Okay, 2 parallel lines, number of points.
Yes, number of triangles.
Superb. Yeah, this one, right? There were, I think, about 7 points here, 5 points.
7 points, 5 points, and number of triangles.
Number of triangles. Very good. This is simple.
So there was one question. If I have, there were eight people sitting around a circular table. In how many ways it can be done, such as 2 people are sitting next to each other, 2 particular people, and 2 particular people are not sitting next to each other.
Okay, superb. So condition-based circular arrangement, again, very much doable, right?
Yes.
Superb. Very good. How about probability? Were there any questions from probability?
Yes, sir. There was a question, but I can't remember what the question. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It was. There was a question.
And I heard that was also doable, right?
Yes,
nothing out of the blue. Super.
So in the MCQ section, a person can attempt at least 10 to 12 questions at least.
Okay. Superb. Very good. And how about matrices and determinants? We normally see one question from it every year. This year, were there any?
Yes, so there were 2 to 3 questions of matrices.
2 to 3
My-
questions, is it?
2 questions were there, as far as I remember, including both the sections of maths. There were 2 questions, one in the short answers and one in the MCQ, minimum.
Okay, nice. 2 to 3 questions. All right. And they were easy enough, if I'm not wrong.
So actually, I didn't do the matrices and determinants part.
Okay, okay. All right. Still, it's okay. 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Compared to the 40 questions, that's manageable, I think. Nice. Very good. Was there any specific question that took you a long time to solve when it comes to QA? Extremely long time, very tedious, very time consuming.
So there was one question in the short answers that there is a sequence of natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and what will that 2022nd number from in the sequence?
Okay, superb.
So
15
the
essay and 30 MCQ.
The question was that the sequence was from natural numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and what will be the 2022nd number if all the perfect squares are
removed
from the sequence?
Oh, okay. I think we've seen a similar question.
Yes.
Yeah, in IPMAT itself, right?
Yes, sir, but it was a time consuming, as many students must have seen that question for the first time.
Okay. This was a very common question when it comes to a number system, excluding perfect squares or taking into consideration only perfect squares. Very good, superb, very nice. Yeah, so Animesh is also confirming on the fact that there were 30 MCQ questions and not 40, which is superb. 65 attempts would be fine or not. Animesh, I think at this point, I don't think we can tell anything for sure whether it would be fine or not. 65 does seem like a very good number in terms of the number of questions that you attempted. But again, and keeping in mind your accuracy, when you say decent accuracy, would it mean 80% or 90% or 95%? It depends, right? It also depends upon how they're going to consider, taking into the fact that there were changes, last minute changes, not informed beforehand. That's obviously going to sting a bit. So I think, yeah, 65 questions seem like a very good number of questions to have attempted out of 90. But again, it also matters how accurate those were. So beautiful, superb. Vedant says there was an arrangement question and the one with vowels together. Okay, so there was one with vowels, is it? Language-based, word-based arrangement in PNC?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It was in the MCQ section.
MCQ, and was it easy, like vowels together?
Vowels should not appear together. Vowels should appear together, I guess.
Okay. Just that, no other conditions, like a word given and vowels.
There were, I guess the word was management or something.
It was management. It was management.
Yeah. That's what Vedant also says.
So they were repeating words.
Correct. Yes. Superb, very nice. Number of elements in power set. There was one question based on that also. Rajesh Shah is saying there was one question based on number of elements in the power set. Short answers. Okay. So was a set given to you? Or a set defined?
It was a null set.
Okay, a null set given.
Yes.
Nice, superb. That's also kind of doable. Very good. Beautiful, very good. Nice, guys. So any other specific questions you'd want to take into, how were these cutoffs calculated? Hi, Priyanka. Priyanka, these cutoffs were actually calculated based on the previous year's cutoff. We made the changes in terms of the number of questions. Obviously, that's not the only factor. See, when we calculate cutoffs, it would be not just based on the number of questions, It would also be based on the amount of time provided, but majorly it would be based on the difficulty level. Now, unless and until the official paper is out, we may not be able to in comparison to other papers, we may not be able to give you a better idea. But on the whole, this should be your overall calculation. That's why we've given in terms of range and not the precise number. Okay. Ayush, you want us to discuss the exact LR, is it? Okay, see, it won't be possible, Ayush, for us to discuss the exact LR question because we ought to know all the clues given. And since it was more of a distribution based, LR where you had to discuss, where you had to arrange, I suppose this was the question, right? Something to do with 5 employees. No two each employee gets 1 day off or something, 6 out of 7 working days.
5 employees, 6 days, 2 employees are required per day, and on Sunday, 3 employees are required.
Yeah,
and
yeah, 2
each
employees
employee has to go on 2 consecutive days and 1 day which is not consecutive, which is not. So
superb.
That was the question.
Correct. So unless and until, Ayush, we know the exact set and all the conditions and the question, we may not be able to discuss. But I think we can, somehow get a vague idea based on how the arrangement is going to be. Were there any other specific conditions there, Abhinav, Khushbu?
I skipped that question, sir.
Achha, you skipped it entirely. Okay, superb. Great.
Okay.
Okay.
I cannot remember the exact conditions, but yes, there was 2 to 3 conditions, and it was difficult. Because in normal LR sets, 4 to 5 conditions are given, which can help to solve the question. But in this case, it needed quite a few minutes, so that it could be solved. And like the first one condition, I remember that a person has to go on consecutive days for 2 days, and the third day will not be consecutive. That was the first condition. Second condition was that A goes on Tuesday and Wednesday. It was something like that, and C and D do not, pair up with A on any day. So in this way, we can distribute the days, and A and D pair up on both the days, Tuesday and Wednesday. These 3 conditions I remember. And there was one more condition. So these were the overall conditions, and the rest we had to solve.
Superb. Very good. Priyanka saying, sir, I solved 12 questions in QA. How much will be my marks? Priyanka, I think that calculation you can do 12 into 4 if all the 12 questions were correct. 12, 4 times 48, that I think you can do. But it depends upon your accuracy also, Priyanka, whether your questions, all 12 questions were right. If you, let's say, for example, out of 12, I'm just taking this into consideration. Okay. So out of 12 questions, let's say you got 10 correct and 2 wrong. Then in that case, also you can do your calculation. For 10 correct, you will get 40 marks, and for 2 wrong, you would lose out 2 marks. So your score would be 38 there. Again, were these 12 questions from short answer? If they were in short answer, then this won't happen. You will not lose out any marks for wrong, but you will get all the 40 marks for all the 10 right questions. So you'll get 40. I think, Priyanka, this calculation you can do based on whether your questions were right or not. Again, the only way to know that whether those questions were right or your solution process was right is if we see the actual paper and compare with the actual answer. That's the only way to go. All right, guys. Superb. So thank you so much, Abhinav, Khushbu. Thank you so much for taking time. I hope you are kind of relieved that the test is finally over.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Khushbu, another day to go for you for GIPMAT, but I don't think GIPMAT is going to be that big of a hurdle to pass, right? GIPMAT comparatively is easy, as well as not many people give it, right?
Sir, actually, I have 2 tests tomorrow. One is SET and other is GIPMAT. So I just have 1 hour in between and I have to travel in that.
Oh, nice. Taking up a challenge. Very good. 2 tests in a day with an hour in between. All the best, Khushbu.
Thank
Also,
you.
others, guys, I think we'll receive the score in a week's time, or maybe towards the end of the month, right? July end or August first week. That's what we usually see. But it's okay. Don't panic, guys. Don't worry about your score or your cutoff anymore, because now you can't do anything. It's beyond your reach. If you were to do something, it will obviously not reflect in your actual score. So don't worry about it. Take a chill pill, relax, be relieved that the test is over. Please understand that this is not the end of the world, right? There's so many to come, and anybody who said give IPMAT Indore and फिर life set hai, you also know, you've been listening to that particular statement since your 10th grade, right? 10th का board दे दो फिर life set है, 12th का board दे दो life set है. You know how these statements go. So relax, don't worry about it. Take your time, chill. Focus more on other things that would matter, and trust the process. You'll receive the score in complement to how you've performed. So don't worry about it. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Khushbu, Abhinav. All the very best for your scores. And if you have any questions or doubts, guys, you can drop them into our comment section. Okay, guys, done. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to hit like on this video. Do not forget to share it with your friends who you think would have given IPMAT in the. All the best. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.